Let's do something fun.
Hey sheepies, welcome back to another video. Today we're filming Enchantress. So what I use is Tag body paint in regular black. This is a water activated paint, so it simply activates with water and washes off with water. And I'm using a large flat brush to first put in her little cheekbone carve outs. I don't know what they're supposed to be, but they're kind of cool. So you can't really see it on this side, but I put down a pretty watery layer first to mark it out. So if I make any mistakes, it's easily taken away. Then I go in and do thicker black. This is the first time that I have brought it around to her chin, and I'm absolutely loving the look of it. You'll also notice I mess up here. I make this one go way too far in, and because it's water activated body paint, it's super easy to get rid of. I used a tea towel to simply get rid of it. Here I'm just placing the body paint in a rough area of where I want it on my eyes, so down the side of my nose, on my eyelids and underneath. She has a neck tattoo that's not very visible underneath her massive necklace, so I just kind of guessed based on a reference photo. As you can see, I got rid of the black body paint on my eyes because I didn't like how dark it was. So here I'm going in with Urban Decay's Smokey palette, and I'm using their black, which I believe is called Black Market, on a pretty fluffy brush. And I'm covering my entire eyes, and it gives it a smokier effect than the body paint does. Also here it kind of goes up onto above my brow bone because I had black fingers anyway, so blending out, as you saw, made it very easy. And it doesn't matter how messy this is because Enchantress is a very messy gal. Unless you're very precise with your painting, then go ahead and be precise. So a lot of this makeup is trial and error, and you just kind of make it to how you want it to look. So I'm using my dirty fingers to go around the rest of my face to dirty it up a little. Next thing I'm doing is using a sponge with pieces taken out of it, and oh my god, my family, using very watered down black paint and stippling it all over my face in a very random pattern. For some reason my camera stopped recording, but I did the exact same thing everywhere with black around my body, green, and it's a mixture of really pigmented, so not very much water on the sponge, and a mixture of very watered down mix. And there's no particular way that I do this. I kind of sponge it all over my body and put water in where necessary and blend it out. And as I said, trial and error. Here I'm darkening my lips with the body paint. So I go into the middle of my lip on the inside and put dark, blend it out by patting my lips together and continuing to do that and adding a little bits around the lips so it doesn't look so pigmented black on the lips. Thing I'm doing is her tattoos that are on her chest. I started out using a small brush but didn't like the look of it, so I switched back to that big flat brush that I used at the start. And as you can see, there was way too much water in that mix, so it dripped down, but it's okay because Enchantress isn't perfect. So I just kind of rolled with it and worked it to my advantage, kind of. Make these really dark as they're tattoos. So that one is kind of a semicircle with little bits coming off and like a person's head on the inside. I don't know. And then this side is pretty much upside down, but the little stripy bits stay in the same spot. Now I'm using brown to also cover the rest of my arms, chest. I add a little tiny bit to my face, I believe. and my other arm. And normally the brown is just in the really heavy crevices, so like in the crevice of my elbow and arm, my underarm, and obviously my chest, because there'd be some dirt living in there. And I contoured a little, because why not? Here you can see my process of making my arms dirty. I use that flat brush with like hardly any pigment on it, and I go back in with the sponge with a little bit of water and try and blend it out. And I repeat this with black, brown, and green. Also, all of these paints that I've mentioned and are going to mention are all tag body paints that are water activated, just letting you know. Also, the bit that we dragged down from our neck earlier on, start to blend it out so it fades into the mess that you've got going on your neck. And because these are water activated, they're really easy to layer, but they're also very easy to peel up too, so just be careful with that, like you saw there. Here I'm adding gold to my chest and my face. There was no particular placement for this. I just kind of placed it wherever I felt like I needed it. Also, it gave me a pretty bomb highlight. Here I'm using Kat Von D's tattoo liner to do my little tattoo markings on my face. You'll notice my eyes are much darker, but I will get to that after I've shown you how I put on my tattoos. So I bring a reference photo up of Enchantress. The reference photo that I use for this is her Empire magazine cover. And I try and look at the symbols that are on her there, but I pretty much freehand them and just make them kind of look Enchantressy. Also, she has 3 rows on the top of her forehead and 1 row above each of her carved out cheekbone things. And here I'm darkening my eyes with more black eyeshadow to give it a smokier look and just to give my eyes an overall darker look. And with an angled brush, I start to pull the shadow down my eyes almost in tear shapes and then smudging them out. Again, this is with the Urban Decay Smokey palette with the color Black Market. And with what's left on my brush, I shade any other places that I think need extra shading. Here I'm using the same black paint that I used on the rest of my face and body to paint the entirety of my hands. How dark you want them matters on personal preference. I personally like my hands to be really dark, but you do you. Also, this paint dries really fast, so you won't have a problem with that, and it doesn't really smudge onto anything. I couldn't find my black pencil liner, so I had to use a brown pencil liner and my liquid liner on your waterline, and I really don't recommend that.
Let's do something fun.
That's my completed Enchantress look. If you guys did enjoy, please like and subscribe. And as always, I love you all very much, and I'll see all your pretty faces in my videos. Bye!